Right, this week is Parshas Matot. Begins with a very chidush. Person can take something which is mutter, which is absolutely something the Torah did not forbid, and he can turn this object into an object of a forbidden object with the power of his mouth. Koyach HaKedusha HaPeh. Zeh Hadova Shetziva Hashem. Then, afterwards, Yedava Hashem HaMoshe Leima, Nikoi Nikpas B'nei Yisrael Me'ez HaMidyonim, Acha Teosef Alamech. Hashem says that Am Yisrael should go to war to take revenge on the Midyonim, Nikmas B'nei Yisrael. The Nikam of B'nei Yisrael, because the Midyonim were machti, they brought Am Yisrael to a chet. This time we have the principle Godol HaMachtiyoi Yoisem in Ahorga. What Ruvain brings Shimon to a chet, it's much worse than if he would have killed him. Because if he would have killed him, he killed only his guf. He didn't kill his neshama. And when he brings another person to chet, he killed his neshama. He killed him Klapi Olam Haba. So here they had a mitzvah of Mikoim B'nei Yisrael Me'ez HaMidyonim, and Hashem put this mitzvah conditional that as long as this mitzvah is not fulfilled, Moshe Rabbeinu will still be able to live, but immediately afterwards, Acha Teosef Elamecha. Afterwards, you will be nifta from the world. Which is interesting. First of all, what is the connection between, I want to speak for a minute, what is the connection between these two things? The Torah, as an introduction to the battle with Midyam, the Torah gives an introduction to Parashat Nidar. What's the connection? And then we have the Mucham Midyam. I'm sure there's many connections. But I was thinking something like this. What is the essence of this battle with Midyam? Oyave, the Ma'arachaim is marach on this concept. Oyave Hashem Sinu Ra. Those that love Hashem will distance themselves, they'll hate the Ra. Let's put it a different way. Every Aveira doesn't begin with the Aveira. In fact, an Aveira begins with things which are mutter. If by the time the Aveira is done, it's already done way before in things which are mutter. Where do we see an example of this? We see an example, the Gemara says, it says, Moshe Rabbeinu said, as a limud schus to teach a merit on Am Yisrael, Moshe Rabbeinu, we have in Pashas Dvorim, V'di Zahav. What's V'di Zahav? He hinted the sin of the golden calf. He said, the extra money and gold that you gave them, this brought them to the chet. Says the Gemara, a mashal. What's the mashal? A father had a son. He washed the son. There's nothing wrong with washing the son. Then he perfumed the son. All this is butter. Then he hung on him a purse of money. He's allowed to give an account to one son. Then he put him on a petach shel beit zonot. Put him at the entrance of zonot. Ma yaseh haben shelo yechol. What should the son do not to be chayte? You know, the Gemara says at this point, the son, if he's chayte, he's an einus. He's in condition, and he's standing there, he has the money, and this and that, he's an einus. So where's the chet? The chet was in all the conditions that brought to the chet before. And all those conditions were davar mutter, not davar asur. In other words, chatoim, a person eats, person says, tonight, I want to make a big seder. I want to learn tonight to 1 o'clock at night. Then he eats supper, then he fills his bed, and he's tired, he falls asleep. He says he's right. He's an einus. He couldn't. What could he do? He fell asleep. But after his stomach is full, that he doesn't learn, there's no time on him. He's an einus. So where's the chet? In eating. Where's it forbidden to eat? What place where it's forbidden to eat? In other words, the Averas, it's not an Avera, but the Averas begin before. Also the mitzvahs begin before. That's what it says. Heavy rots the mitzvah kala. Heavy rots. Heavy rots the mitzvah barech min Avera. The beginning of the mitzvah is the ritzah to the mitzvah, the running to the mitzvah. Once he ran to the mitzvah is in his pocket. And all things begin before, at the beginning. They have sibus, things lead to other things. So, let's begin maybe with Nedarim. The Mishnah says, Nedarim syog laprishus. Nedarim, so Masechet Avot, is a fence around, brings to prishut. What is the concept of prishut? Prishut means there's a concept of kadesh atzmacha u'mutalcha. This is the concept of the dom. The Torah can't tell you everything. The Torah puts down things which are the Isur itself. But how do you not come to the Isur? If you approach everything, if a person fulfills the whole, he lives the whole heta, the permitted, the boundary, till the boundary, he's definitely in the end going to go over the boundary. The concept of Kedusha is the beginning. Where's the beginning of the Chatoyim are not in the Chatoyim. A person comes to the Chet begins with the Dover Amuta. And that's the concept of a neder, to stay away, to distance oneself from the Aveir, not to do the beginnings of the Chet. If you won't, once you're at the battleground of the Chet, you're nice. You have to, the way not to count the Chet is not to put yourself in the battleground. You have to see the things that bring to the Chet. In fact, this is very much Nagea, Odmat, we're coming to Chodesh Elul, Zman HaTshuva. You can't, all Chatoim have beginnings, and beginning of beginnings. If you want to do Tshuva on the Chet, it won't help. You have to analyze where does the Chet begin. And do Tshuva, and usually the Chet begins with things which are mutter, not with things that are us. But one thing leads to another till you get to the Aveira. So to do tshuva without the shroshe hachet, the roots of it, the tshuva won't help. You have to do tshuva on the dvarim hamutot, which brought to the chet. You want to learn more, maybe you have to have a stomach less full. You want to sleep less as well, perhaps a stomach less full. For example, one has to analyze where does it begin. Now, Oyave, this concept of nekamas the nekama, revenge on Midyan, was a concept of hating the evil. Oyave Hashem, those that love Hashem hate the evil. You hate something, that's the concept of brachman aveira. Run away, flee from the aveira. The beginning of not to fall in aveira is to flee from the aveira. That's not to approach, to be afraid of approaching anything that brings close to the aveira. If you approach the aveira, you've already done the aveira because you put yourself in position. The battle on Midian, this was a battle of sinat hara, of hatred of the evil. Midian had machshir. They brought Am Yisrael to a chet. They brought them to an aveira. So they had a mitzvah now to hate the source that brought them to an aveira. Go and battle, and with the source that brought you to an aveira. So this is the concept of sinas hara. Here, that's where I think the two things come together. The Nedarim, which is precious, and sinas hara is the same concept. This is the smuchim of these two things. Because if you hate something you hate, you're going to run away from it. You're going to put yourself far away from it. That's what Nedarim is. Nedarim is an actual concept of brach. Don't put yourself in the test. Whether it's in Loisasa, the same idea we have, it says like this. A person takes and accepts upon himself an obligation of learning. It says if a person says, Ashki, the Eshne Perek Zeh, I'm going to get up tomorrow, I'm going to learn this Perek. If he didn't say B'li Neder, Zu Neder Godel, Nodel Avakei Yisrael. It's a great vow. The Gemara says it's not good for a person to make Nidor, because he might not fulfill the Neder. But here, in this case, the need of obligations, and if a person wants to do mitzvahs, he has to create an obligation. It's important to put himself in a situation For evil, you have to distance yourself, not to put yourself in a situation where you can do the Aveira. For mitzvahs, you have to put yourself in a situation where you're muhlach, where you're forced to do the mitzvah. Now, this is the whole concept of Torah and mitzvahs. If you want to do mitzvahs, put yourself in a situation where you have to do the mitzvah. You want to run away from an Aveira, put yourself in situations where you don't approach the Aveira. In mitzvahs and Aveiras, everything begins at the beginning. And this is Pashas Nedorim. But now another, so that's point number one. So point number one, that Aveiras, mitzvahs, everything has a beginning. You have to analyze, where does it begin? If you want to do tshuva, you want to change, you have to make new beginnings. What is the situation that will bring you to mitzvahs? What is the situation that will bring you to more learning Torah, for example? What is the situation that will prevent from you bitul Torah? What do you do that causes you bitul Torah? What do you do that causes you to come to an Aveira? You have to distance yourself from the situations before the Aveira, and put yourself in the situations which will bring you to the mitzvah. That's everything. The Ikar Tshuva is to create new beginnings, is to analyze the beginnings of things. And that's what the Durham is about. The Durham is about creating new beginnings. It's mutter, but the mutter can be a beginning of something else. Afterwards we have, this is very important as well, they go to battle, they came back, and we have a parsha that they brought back shalal, booty, and there was all sorts of kelim, all sorts of vessels of food, and we have the mitzvah that you're not allowed to use. If you have a vessel that was used by a guy for non-kosher food, you're not allowed to use it because it has what's called liot, and it translates liot, absorbed, and when you cook in it, you won't eat the chazer that the guy ate, but you'll have a taste of the chazer. This principle is called tam ke'ikar. The taste of the Isa has a din like the Isa itself. So the Torah says you're not allowed to use it. What's used in fire, you have to put through fire. What's used in hot water, you have to boil, etc. Then we have a story. I saw once a very nice zach, so I want to say over. Afterwards, the Am Yisrael tells us there was never a battle so much l'shem shamayim like this battle, because there was an unbelievable miracle in this battle. They go over to Moshe Rabbeinu and they tell Moshe that they went over, they counted all the Am, and Avodecha nosu Yisrael shanshei mechama b'yadeinu v'loi nifkad mimenu ish. Says Rashi v'loi nechsa. Not even one person. Just imagine such a war. How many people went to battle? So how much?
12,000.
12,000. Well, if you say elef, either elef means 2,000, or
Rabbi Moore's riddle of the week, he speaks about it. Ayin Sham.
Either 1,000 was in Beis Medrash Mispala, 1,000 went to battle, or 2,000 for Rabbi Sheva. But it says it's from the Baal HaTurim, says something fascinating. How many people fell because of the chet of Midyan, the Benois Midyan, in the Magefa? How many people fell in the Magefa? 24,000. How many people? So how many people were involved in the Magefa? So how many people were involved in this battle? From each Sheva, 2,000. Whichever way. Beis Medrash went to battle, so 12 times 2? 24. 24 connected 24. 24 connected 24. So the Baal HaTurim says. Al kol panim, even 12,000 went to battle, not one person was missing. Like nifkat b'imenu ish. Unbelievable, because they went l'shem shamayim. Unbelievable. Then it says like this: V'nakrev es korban Hashem. Rabbi say this, I think, is a Gemara. Rashi brings a Gemara that Samach Daled. Unbelievable. V'nakrev es korban Hashem. Ish Hashem Motza. They took jewelry. The Torah has a list there of women's jewelry, and it speaks about rings and all sorts of different jewelry. Till there was a jewelry which was they put in the place of the erva, and says all this they gave Hashem. L'chaper al nafshoseinu l'fnei Hashem. We brought this to the Beis Hamikdash as a kapor. So Moshe Rabbeinu all of a sudden thought, he said there was a conversation. Moshe Rabbeinu said, again, you can do the chet. This is what you went to battle for. to fight against the chet that they were machshing you. So now you bring your korban kapara. What chet did you do? What was your chet? You again, somebody was nichshal in one of the Bnei Svidyon in this battle. The whole battle was to fight them. So they answered Moshe Rabbeinu. They said, that's how the Gemara brings down in Shabbos. They answered Moshe Rabbeinu, no, we didn't. We weren't nichshal. Nobody was nichshal in such a chet. But in midei maisa yatzona, we didn't do maisa midei hira lo yatzona. We're bringing the korban because it could be that there were some which were mistaken. They looked at the women and they had a hero, they had a thought of an aveira. And they brought this korban as a kapara on the hero aveira. And the Gemara goes on to say over there that since the Torah lists the jewelry of a ring of a finger together with jewelry which is on the inside of something which you don't see from the woman, with it covered up. So the Gemara says, "Amistakel bi'isha mikan, shamistakel bi'isha amenos lihanot." If he looks at a woman in a way of desire, even if he looks at the finger in a way of desire, it's equal to looking at the place of the Erev itself. And that's why they needed this kapara. So what now? So we have like this. We have the battle. We have the clay midyon, and then we have this chiddush of Yira Aveira. So I saw once in a sefer a beautiful machshava. What is the concept that you have to make hagol on the kelim? What do you have? You don't have anything which is asur. You don't have the macholot asurot with non-kosher food. You only have the taste of the non-kosher food. And the Torah said the taste of the Isa has a halacha like the Isa itself. This is the concept of the hero of Aveira, of the histaklis, the Isha histaklis. The Erev of the Isa, one didn't, like the Rambam says, one didn't touch the woman, one didn't approach the woman, one didn't even talk to the woman. It's just from the distance. It says that's tam ke'ika. That's the Torah put this together. It's the concept of tam, it's the tam of the Aveira. The tam of the Aveira, it's the taste of the Aveira. The taste of the Aveira has also the chaymer, the seriousness of the Aveira. It's tam ke'ika. It's a beautiful hagdalah. Tam ke'ika. It's tam ke'ika. The Torah was masmich. I saw from Adam Gadol. Come years back. The Torah put together these two things. It's the yisoid of tam ke'ika. It's the same yisoid. This is tam ke'ika in macholas, in eating. This is tam ke'ika in another sphere, but it's tam ke'ika. The tam of the Aveira has the chaymer, has the severity of the Aveira itself. And the Gemara says to go on. So is also a nice, very nice word.
Did he explain how to do Agola on that term?
Tshuva. How do we do Agola on that term? Right. He's very right, Rabbi London. That's the chiddush of tshuva b'frat. When a person brings, maybe this goes on to another subject. We'll all go from one subject to another. There's a concept of Kabbalah's Yisurim. Whenever a person has Yisurim, he accepts the Yisurim is Hagol. All Yisurim, suffering, whatever it may be, when the person says, I recognize that it's from heaven and I accept it, that's a Maisa Hagol. That Yisurim, that's what a chat is, that Yisurim are happy. That spits out, because what's Yisurim? It's the opposite of the pleasure that he had from Aveiros. He had enough from the Aveira. Now if the person suffers, Shaloi Midaita, no, Shaloi Midaita is also maybe does something. But when the person accepts it and says, accept it, Mirotzen, Halavai, that these pains should be mitchaper my Aveiros, that's Hagol. That's Hagol. That's Hagol. That's Hagola on the Tam Kihikar of Aveiros. That's Hagola. The person has a Tam of Aveiros. And this brings to another subject. We are now in the 3 weeks. And we know that the Beis HaMikdash Doyer Shoi Nikasa B'Yomov Ki'ilu Mechra B'Yomov. Every generation the Beis HaMikdash wasn't built. It's as if the Beis HaMikdash was destroyed in that period of time. The reason why the temple, the second temple, Chachamim tell us, was destroyed is because of Sinas Chinam. Again, the Chavetz Chaim says, this applies to what we spoke before. The Chavetz Chaim says that really the Chaymer Achet wasn't the Sinas Chinam but Lashon Hara. But again, where do Aveiros begin? Everything has a beginning. Once the person has Sinas Chinam and the Lashon Hara, he's an anus. He doesn't have the Chila anymore. So avada, so the tikkun is not in the lashon hara. If he wants to be mitaken the lashon hara, even if the chet is lashon hara, he has to be mitaken the sinas. Because once he hates the guy, he's going to find it's already a mitzvah. He has to tell the world who he is. Whatever. It's not a avera, it's a mitzvah. Free will, anyway, if it's not an avera mitzvah, but free will he doesn't have. He doesn't have free will. So the mitzvah tikkun of sinas chinam, mitzvah afterecha kamoicha, kemuvan. Where does sinas chinam come from? So let's go to the other extreme. We have, it says, the Gemara says, unbelievable what the Gemara says. If a person, a tzaddik, a rasha, causes pain to a tzaddik, and this rasha, because he's a rasha, and because he caused pain to the tzaddik, he gets a punishment from Shammai. In other words, what causes pilug, what causes dissension, conflict between people? Because people, whether sometimes consciously, and let's say 80% unconsciously, but they hurt each other. And it's easy. And when Reuven hurts me, I get angry at him, and it's hard for a person, especially if he insults my honor. That's the most difficult thing to be Michael. So I don't like him. And I want him to get that pain as well. I want to give, and that's a natural meter. I want to give him back pain like he gave me pain. And so begins, and I do things that might hurt him, and so begins a negative spiral where it doesn't know where it ends. But it's Gemara says that if he is not Michael him, there's what Gemara says an unbelievable thing. Gemara says that Mi shenenash chaveiro al yodai ein machnisim oisai b'mechitzosei shakadosh baruch Hu. He can't, in Olam Haba, there's different madregas. There's Gan Eden, there's based in Shamayla, there's Yeshiva Shamayla. There's a madrega called the Chitzosei Shakadosh Baruch Hu, to be in the place where the Shechina is. It says a person that somebody was punished because of him, he can't be in the Mechitza of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Unbelievable. Now, the person that was punished because of him, he didn't even punish him. Reuven was Messiah Shimon, and Shimon simply wasn't Michael. And Magil Reuven and Noinish, he caused pain to Shimon. And who punishes Reuven? Hashem, because of Reuven. But because of Shimon, the pain of Shimon, Hashem takes the side of Shimon and punishes Reuven. Shimon is told in Shemayim, you can't, because you are a cause, you were a siba, indirectly, you were a cause for a punishment for your chaver, you can't be in the Mechitza of Hashem. And so we have in Krishma the Tefillah, in the Rebbeinu Shalom before, Shelo Yeh Onesh Shum Odom Mesibati. That nobody should be punished because of me. Here we see something unbelievable. The other one, the Rasha caused pain to the tzaddik. The tzaddik is a tzaddik. The Rasha is a Rasha, and he caused pain. But the tzaddik wasn't Meichel, the Rasha. And since the tzaddik wasn't Meichel, so the Rasha, even if later he should have a kapara, but the tzaddik, with all his masim tovim, can't be in the Mechitza of Hashem. This madrega, he can't be. So what do we learn from this? That it's kedai for a person to be Meichel somebody for himself. Forget about being Meichel the other guy for him. You profit from it. But when somebody hurts you and you're not Meichel him, you lose out. You lose out. So you can be Meichel for you. It's better for you to be Mavakish Rachmim on him. But the person doesn't gain anything. You know, a person thinks in the heart, all right, he'll be punished. Hashem's going to punish him. Hashem knows. So he has like this sweet he has a tam ke'ika. We speak about tam ke'ika. He has a tam ke'ika of revenge. It's a tam. It says a tam. Everybody show him everybody sees, he's going to punish him. But that tam itself, he's going to lose out. But that tam, that's fighter bli of the Isa. That hero that the other one should be punished because of me, and I take satisfaction, he loses out. And the Gemara learns it from a pasuk, because it says like this. It says, Loi yigurcha ra. Can't be something which is called ra, can't be in the mechitzas Hashem. Hashem is kulei tov. And then the Gemara brings another pasuk, Gam on noish the tzaddik loy tov. Even when the tzaddik is manish somebody else, it's called, the tzaddik is called, this onish the tzaddik, if ayadei the tzaddik, somebody else is punished, the tzaddik, this meter is called loy tov. It's not good. And it's not good for it's loy tov, it's right. The meter of causing an einish to somebody else is loy toiv, and it's ra. And then one can't be mechitza kashba. I want to divert for a second. This is all that you were just the cause, an indirect cause, and you didn't do anything, just didn't Michael. What happens if you cause evil to somebody else? Then you are called toiv. Then you can be the mechitza shakadosh baruch Hu. We see here how chamur the causing of pain to another person is. If you directly cause pain to the other person, that's like kal v'chaymer ben benoshel kal v'chaymer. How evil it is. In other words, the core of the person has to be mispalel from Hashem that he should be a source of pleasure to other human beings, and not a source of pain. This is Yisoid Kol HaTorah Kula. That's the Haftarecha Kamecha Zeklal B'Olam B'Torah. It's the Yisoid of the whole Torah, that he should be a source of giving pleasure to others and not being a cause even indirectly pain. Kal v'chayva, directly of pain to others. So this is the first machshava. The first machshava is when you're matbid, at the end of the day, the kpeda, even though it's difficult to be meichel, the kpeda is, your kpeda is being mazik, is doing damage to you. You lose out. You lose out by having an kpeda on the other person. You lose out. That's number one. Number two, the second thought that a person should think is, a person has to think like this. Yisurim, all pain that comes to a person are not approximate in this world. Everything is with enormous exactitude. Like the Gemara says, Heichi Domi Yisurim. What's called Yisurim? Says the Gemara, he wanted to take out of his pocket 3 coins. And he put his hand in his pocket and he took out 2 coins. And now he has to bother to put his hand in the pocket again to take out a 3rd coin. Even that is nigzam shemayim, and it's called yisur. So when a person causes you pain, if it wasn't decreed upon you to have this pain, and if he wouldn't cause you this pain, maybe you'd have it with a bee stinging you, maybe you'd have it with an animal, maybe you'd have it by another person, maybe you'd have it through yourself. But the yisurim, like they are to an exactitude that we can't, precision that we can't imagine, to a microscopic measure, the yisurim. Not more and not less, it's all nigzam and Hashem. So therefore, if a person is minded, like the Gemara says, Ein adam noikev et spoi milamato, ele im kein machrizim alav milamala. A person doesn't punch his finger, even unless in Beis Din Shalmaila they would decree that this person now should prick his finger. Every pain, the smallest, minutest pain is decreed. Therefore, if a person has this emunah, so there's no reason to be angry at the other person. The other person didn't do anything. It's true. The other person is a shliach. If we have the principle called megalgalin choy ayedei mishachayav. If he's the shliach, he'll be punished from Shemayim. That's not to be punished. But you have no reason for emunah to be angry specifically at this person because he didn't do you anything. He didn't change anything in your life. So that's another reason not to have a kpeda. The third reason, there's a third reason. Once, if you manage to overcome this, the emes is, I'll tell you a story, everybody likes stories. I saw before that in one of these papers, I saw that after Rav Steinman went to America, a few years later, somebody wrote on the entrance of his house, wrote graffiti, and he wrote words of disgrace about Rav Steinman. And one of the shamoshim, one of his shamoshim saw it and couldn't bear it and erased it. And Rav Steinman, after having seen it, saw that it was erased. And he clarified who erased it. And he told him he was very, I don't want to use the word angry or paid, but he wasn't happy about it. And he spoke to him, why did you erase it? He says, listen, I went to America. And when I went to America, I had a lot of honor. And this honor is not good for a person. So I need some disgrace to be mechaper, to atone for all the honor I had in America. So I'm very happy that this was argued. Now you took away from me this opportunity of this disgrace, which gives me profit. He says that this story was 4 years already after he had gone to America. And he was still worried that he needs a kapara, an atonement on the cover that he had. About Kol Panim, what do we see? The histaklis, how a tzaddik and a Talmud Chacham with a moon looks at it. The other way around, totally. That when a person If somebody takes away from your honor, he's doing you a favor. But you have to understand that he's doing you a favor. Yisurim, when a person, all the pain that a person has in this world, it says, are the greatest gift possible for a person. If he accepts it. I would say over Gemara brings a pasuk or something. It says, but there's one condition for it to be. Ma, it's called an ashram. It's like being a korban. Ma ashram ladas at yisurim ladas. If like a korban, you have to bring it ritzaynai, so the yisurim too. If you accept them, then it's like a korban. Maschod kiboy. If he accepts the yisurim, maschodai. So the Gemara says three things. Yira zera yarich yomim. The person accepts pain as he accepts it in his mind that this is for his benefit. So it says he'll see long generations coming out from him, good generations. That's Yira Zera. He'll have long life and he'll succeed in learning Torah, to understand that there is Hashem. That's what could be more than all those things. It says, but there's one condition to accept it. But we still have in the Gemara that they asked the Chachamim, after the Gemara lists all the benefits of pain, so the Gemara says, Chavivu v'lechi Yisurim, do you want Yisurim? Loi hein, v'loi schar. No, I don't want that the schar, I don't want Yisurim. So, it doesn't fit. Teretz is because it's a very big test. You know, who says the person's going to accept the Yisurim? Maybe you'll be angry about the Yisurim. But after the fact, if a person had Yisurim, and he accepted it, it's the greatest treasure. Because it says it's Kedai, the Ramban brings down, it's Kedai for a person to have in this world all the Yisurim that Eod had, not to have 1 minute of Gehenna. So writes the Ramban. We have no idea, every person has Chatoyim, and we have no idea of what the punishment of Gehenna is, and the Yisurim take off of this world, take off, it's trading, you know, it's like you have a chayv. Give a simple mashal. You have a chov, you owe $1 million. And comes somebody along and says, if you do this and this, which is worth, like say, $20, I'll accept the $20 instead of $1 million. Can you redeem $1 million with $20? That's together. The Yisurim of a Gehenna are with no concept. It says the fire of Gehenna is 60 times more than the fire of here. And you have a little bit of pain here, and it redeems those Yisurim, which are a million times more than any pain in this world. So therefore, a person should always be happy. Now, if a person would have these 3 ashkafas, I'm just going to go over these 3 ashkafas, then he won't come to Silas Chinam, and he won't come to Lashon Hara, etc., etc. If you, first of all, realize that if you are a source of punishment, even a punishment to another person, it doesn't bring you into the Mechitza of Hashem. So you're hurting yourself. It's kedai to be mevakesh rachman when somebody else. The opposite. Hashem shouldn't punish him because of you. Nobody should be punished because of you. You should have the schus to be in the area of the Shekhinah. Secondly, you have to think that nobody can do anything to you. Whatever, nobody. He's just an optical illusion that he's the cause. If it wouldn't be him, it would be something else because everything is decreed from Shemayim. The third machshav is after the fact he's doing you the biggest favor because they're fighting you from all the avodas. Ein Yisurim v'loy avon, ve'ein Yisach v'lo chet. All Yisurim come because of the chet, and if the person accepts them, they bring him the greatest book.
כמה שאני עובדת, מתרבות השם, הכל מואר בכל ואין בו מתום. אומנם ברור שהכל קורה, המלאכים עולים ויורדים, אך מתי השחר יעלה, ואני שומע